When someone's vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm struggling with this, that's the time to lift up their hands and say, hey, we got you. We got your back. Even though you're miles away, I have no idea where you live, but I can at least try to help you from my point of view. And it's just phenomenal to see how that happens and just spreads throughout the entire group.
Welcome to the podcast with Kylie Nichols. I made the unlikely transition from stay-at-home mom to CEO of Nicklin Suede, a leading multi-million-dollar fashion company. At Nicklin Suede, we empower the everyday woman to step into her story more boldly, one life-changing accessory at a time. The goal of this podcast is to inspire you through my story and the stories of other powerhouse women to live the best version of your life. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, and get ready to get started with Kylie Nichols. Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm glad to be back this week and I am excited. I have a fun guest today. My guest is Shawnita Marshall from Northern Virginia, and she flew all the way to Kansas City for the podcast. Just kidding. She's here for lots of other things, but mostly the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I mean, beyond an honor. Thank you very much for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Shawnita has been here a couple days in town visiting, but while she's here, I just said, I want you to be on the podcast. Got to join me. We've been having a blast. And Shawnita is a longtime customer, fun friend through the internet,
Yep.
and one of our original Nicklin Suede BFFs, which is like Nicklin Suede lingo, but about a year ago, I created I said, I think I want to do some kind of ambassador program. Like we've got all these great customers. I want to figure out how we can share the love of Nicklin Suede with more people. And so we created this Facebook group and we just kind of said, let's try a little beta program. So we threw together a group of 40 women. We kind of just called for applicants. I don't know, kind of how it happened.
I think that's how it was, on Facebook.
You were one of the original 40 women, and so we put them together, and you've just been like one of the biggest champions ever since. And so it's just kind of grown to be this cool relationship, and now you're here in town visiting us.
Gosh.
And so that's a little bit of my history with you. And I mean, you were one of the original BFFs. Now we've got this huge, we started that original 40 group, and then in January we started a bigger group. And so now we have over 6,000 women in that group. But
Exploded.
You're one of the moderators.
Yes.
And you post every day an earring challenge of, hey, this is the earring everybody's wearing today.
Yes, I have a little bit too much power, I think. Telling everybody what to wear, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you're just you're such a voice of positivity and uplift in there. So, and then you, I think, own one of the biggest collections of Nicklin Suede. So
I think that's your fault.
You've run a chunk show for us. So you've done so many things.
I've done a lot of things. And like you said, it's really just started with an application like, hey, tell us why you like Nicklin Suede. And it really started with, there's some ladies at our church several years ago that we were at. It was like a Easter kind of celebration thing at our church for the kids. And one of my friends who had some earrings in her ear, and I was like, what is that in your ear? Like, she's like, this is leather. It's so soft. And I'm like, why do you have leather in your ear? That's dumb. I think I might have said something like, that's dumb, and gave her like a side eye. There was like 3 or 4 ladies, but they were like, you got to follow her. And this is a website. I was like, that's just dumb. Why you wear leather? Just put some gold hoops and call it a day. And here we are, 2020, and I have a huge collection. I'm not even going to say the number because then I'm held accountable for it. So, but it just started from me just asking them, and I went on the website. I bought the earring of the month. I think it was white cutouts in a small. Now my collection has gotten bigger. My size, I've gone now to mediums, and it just started from there. I had one. I put it in my hand, and I was like, these are phenomenal. These are very lightweight. I cannot be their leather. And here we are now. And I've got on a plane and I've come to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. I love every minute of it. The brand is just something I can get behind. The people here are just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can just see the passion, the love in your eyes and the way you talk about it. And it's just something that I can get behind. And one of the things that I do is I don't do anything halfway. And Nicklin Suede is one of them. I don't do Nicklin Suede halfway at all.
You do not.
I'm just taking it to the nth degree. So
I love it. It's so fun. And so Shawnita flew in yesterday with her sister and her cousin, and they've been here touring and hanging out with us. And like, we feel like we all feel like we know each other because we chat, we text, we're on Facebook together. And so it's just been really fun to show the behind the scenes and talk about all the products and then the mission and like what we're doing for women in the group and all the customers and all those things. And so
it's been pretty eye-opening for me, like just seeing, like, I thought I knew how it got to, how an earring came from an idea to maybe in my mailbox. And now I realize there's so much more to it. I thought I knew about maybe 50%. Yeah. There's 20 more steps and I only know 5%. So I was just like blown away, and just seeing the passion and all the, everybody, how it gets from step 1 to step 50 is just phenomenal. And I'm just blown away. And it just gives me more passion to not just promote it, but just to take each piece and understand it and treasure it. It's just not just a piece of earring, but a piece of jewelry, but someone's heart is behind each piece. And that's just the part of that I really just soaked up yesterday and love so much.
Well, we just appreciate that so much. And it's been cool because we're like, how are we so lucky to have customers who get it and get us and like get our hearts, and how do we do more of that and how do we share more of that? And so we feel so lucky. And so that's part of why I wanted to have you on the podcast, because I wanted to say, like, what is it like about you that, like, what is it about the brand that resonates with you, and like, what is it about you that doesn't do anything halfway? Like, how did you become somebody that is that way? Like, how did you become Shawnita that does nothing halfway? And like, that to me is a message that like totally does resonate with our values of like empowerment and of optimism and of like being a light and like just rising above like, the negativity and the being, bogged down with all the, you could be bogged down with a lot of things right now, but like you just aren't. You're just bouncing around, happy, wearing your bright colors, and it's just like,
oh gosh,
like, what is it like that got made you, and like, how does that? You're so bought in on like all the positivity that we want to relay to the world, and so it's like we're so thankful to have you shine that light with us. And so,
for me, I think my foundation is based off of my relationship with Jesus Christ and what he's done for me in the cross. And having that and knowing that I can move forward. I don't have to be bogged down in different things or what's going on in the world or what's even going on. Doesn't mean I don't have trials and different tests and different dramas. But what's the bigger picture, and showing that light, like you said. One thing I know is I always do say something that you would want someone to say to you. Think about that. And, if someone's wearing a nice outfit or their earrings or they might be looking like they're having a bad day, but they look really nice. Tell them, you don't know how that's going to affect their heart, affect their day, affect their week. They might look really pretty and they got all their stuff together on the outside, but maybe they're dealing with something. And then just you taking the moment to say, oh my gosh, that looks really nice. Whether you're at the grocery store, you're out, at the mall or whatever, and just say, oh my gosh, that looks really nice on you. You don't know how that's going to affect them or just lift their spirits. And that's just one of the things that I know that people have done for me in the past, and I know how it's affected me later on, where I'm like, what? I remember someone said, you look good in that shirt. That really makes your eyes pop, or your hair is on point. And I'm like, you know what? It is on point, and I'm going to keep doing my hair like that. And it just gives you extra confidence. And I know that's something that you guys are trying to do. And I'm like, when the ladies post on Facebook, I'm like, don't worry about you got no makeup on. Do you, boo? That's okay. Who cares? Who says you have to wear makeup that way? Whatever works for you. If you got one kid, no kids, whatever, just do what works for you. And that's just one of the things I know you guys are trying to do. And I'm just trying to try to pass that along, because I know you've done that with me. I love all the bright colors. And those things make me feel empowered and just bright, and where I can shine the light and then, take that and just shine it to others. So that's just one of the things I know that I've done in the past. I'm in the store and I'm like, that looks really nice on you. Lady doing the groceries. Next, she's doing my groceries a lot smoother. She's smiling. It's just, you just don't know how it can affect someone's day. So, or just telling them, Jesus loves you. You can smile about that. Jesus loves you. Don't be down. And just some of the things that I just do throughout the day and just in my life, just regularly. So that's just kind of what I try to do on Facebook as well. Or, what are the other BFFs that we have that we, chat with throughout the day and stuff. So
Yeah, I love that. I love that passing it on and passing on the positivity. And I've seen that so much in the group. And like it just catches, like I say, like courage is contagious, but I also think like that positivity is contagious. And I've seen that catch on so much in the group where people have sent each other like earrings like unexpectedly. But I think like the compliments get passed on so much too, where people will just pile on the compliments. When somebody starts it, it's like, especially when someone's having a hard time or when somebody's feeling down, it's like the compliments will pile on, and you can see the next day somebody posts and they're like, thanks for saying that yesterday.
Yeah.
That actually made a difference.
Yes. And it's coming from a genuine heart. When someone's vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
That's the time to lift up their hands and say, hey, we got you. We got your back. Even though you're miles away, I have no idea where you live, but I can at least try to help you from my point of view. And it's just phenomenal to see how that happens and just spreads throughout the entire group. Like you said, 6,000 ladies just spreading the love. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it feels so much smaller than that.
It feels ginormous, yes.
Yeah, I really love that. Yeah. Well, so tell me, I think you said to me earlier today, you haven't always been, I mean, we all grow, right? We all change. Like, haven't always been like this. So what were you like as a kid? How did you grow up?
I grew up in a very, I'm from Northern Virginia, so I grew up in a very small town called Sterling, and I still live there. My parents still live there. My brother and sister, we all still live literally 5-6 minutes from each other. My parents are still in the house that we all grew up in, which is fantastic and can be considered kind of sheltered. Yeah. But it's still, the town has grown. We've exploded. We've got malls and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, when I was in high school in elementary, I was always trying to do what everybody else was doing. And, I didn't really have the foundation in Jesus. I was going to a church in the school, but I really wasn't really grounded in my faith. And I was always trying to look the way the other people were looking, whether it's the outfits or the way they had their hair. Being someone of color, Black, I couldn't really look like everybody, but I tried, with the hair and how they had their jeans and acid wash jeans or things like that as much as possible, but it wasn't really me.
Yeah.
And not until I really graduated from high school and, went into college and just started to be myself and find the opportunity to I've always liked bright colors, but I didn't always wear them. Yeah. I didn't feel comfortable in them. No one else was wearing lime green and orange every single day. So I didn't really, pick those to wear them. And once I really got my job and just started doing what I really love, which was being with children in daycare and then being able to buy my own clothes, I found myself gravitating towards the lime green and picking it out and just really doing it and just saying, you know what, I love lime green 1,000 times and I'm going to wear it. I had the socks, I had everything, and just being confident in myself and not trying to look like someone else.
Yeah.
And that was just something that I just had to grow into and learn as I became a young adult. And then I got known for Shawnee. We can see Shawnee a mile away because there she is, nice and bright. But I had to grow into that. I had to learn that and realize that I can't try to look like someone else because that's not how God made me. God didn't make me to look like that person. He made me to look like Shawnee and to be myself, which is I'm big, I'm bold, and I don't do anything halfway. Yeah. So that means everything.
It's all lime green.
It's all lime green. Lime green, orange, and hot. My wedding was hot pink. So...
That's
but
awesome.
I don't think I would have done that or even thought about doing that when I was in high school or even early college, but as I became more of an adult and realized that I don't need to do anything to please somebody else. I need to do what I'm doing to please, my Lord, Jesus. And that's the way he made me. Why stifle that, and there's certain people that have different personalities, but that was my personality and I stifled that for so long. But once I became free and realized what Christ had did for me, I didn't need to stifle that and just... You can be loud and fine and then learn how to be quiet when it's time to be quiet, but with a bright shirt on. So I had all the color jeans. I had it all. Every bright color pair of jeans when they were back in style. So probably telling my age right now, but that's okay. But and that's just how, and then I just became more confident in doing that. Yeah. And it was with jewelry. It was with the socks. It was with the purses. It was with, any of those kind of accessories. And then when I found Nicklin Suede, and they were like, hey, you don't need gold hoops. Put on you some big earrings. And they got a cutout, they got a Nova, and it was just exploded. So y'all were right for me. It was perfect.
It was perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
It was just great.
Yes, and I was like, okay. And, a lot of people, I've told a lot of people I eat a lot of bologna sandwiches so I can afford all the Nicklin Suede earrings.
I love
so
it. That is my favorite
yes,
line.
and so I've saved up enough bologna sandwiches to come here and get on that plane and come so I can get all the bright colors and bring them back home. So
it's true. It's my favorite. That was, I think, when I first started noticing some of your most hilarious comments, is it was like, new collections coming out, more bologna sandwiches. I think then it was like, oh, just bread sandwiches this week.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't even afford the bologna today. Yes, and so someone actually commented, they're like, how many bologna sandwiches did you save up to get down there? I was like, oh, I was saving a lot of, I was not even frying them, I was eating them just plain.
Yeah, which I love, because to me it's just like, to me those comments are just like they stand out, and that stands out because it's just funny. It's just you. It's like,
and it's just, and it's kind of real though too. I mean, like, I don't drink coffee, so I'm like, all right, well,
there's no Starbucks to be cutting out.
Yeah, so I have to cut out something. I'm cutting out maybe an extra bag of M&Ms or something. I'm like, bologna sandwich. So I gotta get some Nicklin Suedes coming.
Yeah, so, and to me that's why everybody here at headquarters knows you, because it's like, because you're not afraid to be you and to just comment the real thing. And so that's how you become like Shawnee at headquarters, is like, people know you because you're not afraid to be you. And it's like, if you want people to know who you are, and not in like a prideful way, but just in like a, hey, we all love you because you're not afraid to be you. Right. And it's like, I think everybody wants that. They want to be they want a community. They want to belong. They want it. And like, people love you because you care about people and because you're not afraid to be you. And like, I mean, all those things everybody wants.
Everybody wants, And it flows also into caring for others, like you were just saying. Like, go all the way for caring somebody. You know, there's people that in our hometown that are dealing with sicknesses or whatever. Yeah. Care for them all the way. Yeah. You know, just if you're a mom, you got to do laundry, you got to do dinner, you got to get groceries. You know, if they're not able to do that, think what would they need to do? You know, go all the way in. Don't just bring them some cookies. Yeah. Okay. They might need some vacuuming. They might need some laundry folded. They might need some groceries picked up. While you're there, pick up, you know they like this type of bread. You know, and those are things that you got to go all the way. You can't just drop the cookies off and say, love ya. You know, go all the way with caring and loving. And that's another thing that I do. I just go all the way with whether it's bologna sandwiches for me or for you. If you need a sandwich, I'll bring you one. You know, because it's just, you got to go all the way in whatever it is and not be afraid of that. And that's kind of how I kind of learned to become. Yeah. And then, like you said, you end up becoming, people are like, I want to be around her because I feel comfortable. You know, sometimes there's hard conversations, but if you make it an atmosphere where they can talk to you and they feel comfortable, you're laughing, you're talking about bologna sandwiches, and then you can slide in some wisdom and some good experiences and some, tips and tricks and how to get through whatever experience they're going through. But if you make it fun and, exciting, then the atmosphere is there for that, for learning and for, grabbing and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I love that. I think that's super good advice and really good wisdom, because I think if you're being authentic and all the way you, then you aren't just doing, you're not doing anything halfway. You're not being you halfway. Then you're also not caring for people just halfway. You're also not just, being all in.
Being all in. Yep.
All in on other people, all in on yourself, all in on, and that's deep. That's hard. That's uncomfortable, right?
It's very uncomfortable. There are times where it's like, okay, Shawnee, that's too much. It's too much you. And you're like, I don't know how to be half of me. Yeah. So, but then there's times where you have to just wait for your moment, to wait for the timing or what have you. But, don't hold back on anything, whether your love, your caring, or any of that, or your bright colors. Don't hold back, because then when people see you not in bright colors, then they're wondering, is Shawnee okay? Yeah. Do we need to hug her? Why is she in black and white? What is going on? So,
have you found you're too much, like that being all you? Is that too much for people? Or
it can be. My husband, he's like, too much.
Well, not everybody's on that point in their journey where they've been able to figure out how to be their whole self yet. Yeah. And I think, that's one of our goals at Nicklin Suede is to help women feel comfortable on that journey to be figuring out who they are. Or that's a big thing.
It's a big
but just,
thing.
Helping women feel comfortable on that path, or
and even trying to figure out what it is,
what they want, who, how do you just feel more you? Yeah. And I think putting on some earrings can help you feel a little bit more like you, or like you could take that next step to that next thing.
Yes.
And a little bit more bold, a little bit more, okay, I've got some some earring courage today,
Yes.
whatever that is, you know,
Yes.
like, okay, I can do it.
Yep.
I can try that next thing.
Yep.
And, so sometimes that can be intimidating when you're around somebody who feels like they've got it figured out.
Yes. And, you know, and you have, that's what I said, when you're around those that feel a little like, oh my gosh, you're so loud and you got a lot of yellow on. What are you doing? Being able to be an adult and mature and see that and tone it down for a moment, figure out what makes them comfortable, and then go back to being you. Because there's times where I've been on conversation and I'm like, okay, I feel like my hands are going way too much. I need to bring it down, bring it down, you know, and I have had to do that. And then you see them kind of just in their facial expressions, just calm down. And then you're able to just continue the conversation or just give them encouragement or whatever. And even with, some of the things I've done with my earrings, I'm like, I can't wear those like you. And then I'm like, yes, you can. Why don't you try small first?
Yeah, you're an encourager.
You know, just give them an example. You're like, hey, try small.
Yeah.
To maybe get white. You don't have to get bright neon yellow.
Yeah.
Just get white. And then next, 3 weeks later, oh my gosh, I got the yellow. There you go, girlfriend. See? It wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
You did it, and everybody doesn't have to be like me.
Yes.
They just have to be whatever they want to be. If they
Yes.
want to wear all white every day, then that's fine. White and black. Just own it and go for it and just
Be you.
be you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody
you,
doesn't
boo.
need to be Shanita.
No, we can't have every Shawnees all over here.
No, everybody doesn't need to be Kylie. And that's what I am always saying, I love it. You want to try the same outfit as me? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be that way.
Sure.
Just if you see an outfit you like, try that.
Right.
But try a different outfit if you don't like. It doesn't need to look like anybody else. Just if you like something, don't be afraid to try it.
You try it, yes. And don't do it just because, Kylie does it. I mean, then I would have to cut my hair.
I know.
Oh, no, it takes a long time for my hair to grow. So, but I love how you style some of your outfits. I'm like, I can take that and figure out how it will work for me. Or, some of your trips with your boys. I have a son. So I'm looking at some of the toys, how you do it. So make it for me. What are you doing for your family? How can I turn that into something for my family or my outfits or the earrings and so forth? And that's kind of how I've been with some of the ladies I'm with. I'm like, you don't have to be neon, just maybe get white or silver and go from there. And next, it's exploding.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that being all in is being an encourager and a cheerleader.
Yes.
I think an all in cheerleader for the people around you is something that I've seen you do so many times. Yeah.
Aw.
I love
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, what's, I think, a leap of faith or a scary or a challenging thing that you've done that kind of pushed you out of your comfort zone or in your story?
Yes. So for me, when I graduated high school, I wanted to be in early childhood development. I want to have my own daycare. I want to have, kids running around. That was my thing. I love kids. In high school, I babysat all the time and I could do multiple families at one time and I loved it. And then I, went to college to get my degree in that, was working in daycare, $5 an hour, wasn't paying a lot of bills, but I needed to get some money. And after 6 years, and I was assistant director at a daycare center, I literally had to just walk away from my dream of doing daycare and doing early childhood development. I loved it, but I was getting older. I was in my 20s. I'm like, hey, I need some more money. And I went into the corporate world and that was huge. I struggled. I had no corporate experience other than, you show up for work on time every day. I had a great work ethic, but I didn't know spreadsheets and computers and, none of that stuff. I didn't know anything, but I jumped out there. I got a job as front desk office girl. And now I work for one of the largest corporations in, worldwide, Cisco Systems, and been working there for almost 16 years. But that leap of faith, it was kind of more of because I needed the money, but I needed to do it, for myself. I needed to mature. That working in a corporate world matured me. Yeah. Working with a bunch of 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds and you don't get mature that way. You're just you're feeding goldfish and crackers and, and you're teaching them the ABCs and things like that. Sure. But it's not necessarily an adult type thing. And I had to go be an adult. I had to start paying some bills and I wanted to buy my own clothes. So I need a credit card or, things like that. So when I did that, that was huge for me. And it changed, I didn't know anything about how the world works out there. But here I am today. I've been working, like I said, working for Cisco Systems for almost 16 years and I love it. It's fantastic. So I think another thing for me was leap of faith was doing the trunk show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
In May. That was, I was like, sure, I'd love to do it. And then once I realized what I was doing or what it needed to be done, I was like, wait a minute. Can I call Danielle and say maybe not? So I was really nervous, but it was one of those things where it's like, you go all the way or don't go at all.
You did.
And I jumped, and I'm still flying. It was fantastic.
So the trunk show, for anybody who doesn't know, was we started this year in the spring doing some online, like a Facebook kind of, a Facebook trunk show where Shawnita or whoever the hosts were would invite all of their friends to do just kind of an online party and show the product and show new product and just a little online party.
Online like earring show basically. It was fantastic. I talked for about 3 hours on stuff, and I was like, I didn't know I had all that information in me.
You did. You're like professional Nicklin Suede sales team.
It off, and then I get here and I realize I don't halfway know anything. I was like, wow. But it was good. It was an opportunity for me to show other women that you can wear this color and you don't have to look at it a certain way, or show, okay, this is how I wear this. When I have a collared shirt, I think about this, just real life.
It was really good style tips,
information.
And we had several other hosts that said, thanks for letting me do that. That was a step outside my comfort zone to try that, to be on camera, to be showing, my friends and talking like
and
this.
And there's nobody on the other side of the computer. So it's just you talking over and over again. And, and some of the people that I'm friends with didn't know that I was this involved. They're like, really? I was like, yeah, you didn't need to watch that part. It was, so that was, I had to be vulnerable there, and there, but it exploded in our, my church. There's other ladies that are now purchasing stuff. So it ended up being a great blessing, and it was a huge honor. So
it was really fun for us to try that and to see how, just see the difference that it made. And it's been really cool for us to see and try new things. And I think that's just what it's all about. It's fun to see and give opportunities for people to try new things and just to see growth come from that.
Yes.
For us, see growth come from the people putting themselves out there. And
it was a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about.
Yes. So, and we were all in.
That's awesome.
All in.
All or nothing. Yep. Go big or go home.
Go home. Don't do nothing halfway.
Yeah. Well, what message do you feel like you want to tell women? Like, I think for this podcast, I really want it to be for women, from women, especially women who feel like, I didn't used to be this way, but this is what I've come this far.
Yeah. I'd say for me, I would definitely want to, and something that I try to portray and do daily with the different Facebooks or Instagram is just, just be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to, I know makeup and working out and dieting is really big in America, and I've tried it and it doesn't work. And I was like, never mind. No more makeup, just do chapstick and you'll be fine. Yeah. And, and I work out sometimes and sometimes I don't, because my hair is a certain way and I want it to stay that way. I don't want it to get sweaty. So, it's just like, just be you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what everybody else is doing in the other house. Just worry about what your family's doing. Just focus on them. If you're married, what pleases your husband, do that. What makes your kids laugh and smile. If it's running around in the backyard, then do that. Don't worry about what the neighbors are doing.
Yeah.
Because you can't please the neighbors. It's about your household and so forth. And for me, that's how I've been trying, since I've been married, for 16 years. Just do what does my husband need? Does my husband need, don't make the meals that other people are making. My husband doesn't like that. So make this. My husband has diabetes. So I need to focus on that. Make sure that I'm not putting a lot of carbs out on the table. It'd be easier to do a whole lot of lasagna and pasta, but that's not good for my husband.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. You know, just do what's best for your family and your kids and what they need. If they need the baseball, they need the soccer or whatever, or they're into the books and Legos. I mean, my son is Lego craze. My daughter was as well. So just do what's best for them and not worry about what everybody else is doing in the other house or on Instagram. Because Instagram's not real life a lot of times. So I know I fall into that trap looking like, oh my gosh, and then realize she's posing weird and her elbows backwards. And that, that's weird. So just be normal, be you, and don't try to please somebody else. And that's one thing I do. I just try to please the Lord first and then please my husband. What keeps him smiling, keeps him happy, and then my kids, and what keeps them fed and keeps them educated and going and so forth. And that's what I think it's all about. Just doing what's for you.
Yeah. I love that. You're all in on
I'm
all
all
those
in
things.
on that.
You're all in on those things. I love it. Okay. Well, now I've got some quick questions that just have quick answers.
I'm ready.
Okay. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of, I would say, my family and that they're all serving Jesus. Yeah.
What's the scariest thing you've ever done?
Oh, snap. I've bungee jumped thing. Yes. And
Off
it's
of what?
off of not a mountain, but off of a thing, like a roller coaster thing. And it's on VHS. So that's how old it is. So I have video of it. I can't even say it's on a phone. It's on VHS. So best friend and I, we have bungee jumped, and I still feel my heart pounding now that I think about it. It was very scary.
Sounds terrifying. Yeah.
It was.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
I would say do everything as unto the Lord. That is probably the best thing that someone has told me when I was just graduating high school, and I've taken that and run with that.
What motivates you?
I'd say my relationship with Jesus. Again, back to that. Yep, it motivates.
She's got her things.
Yes,
I
it
think
motivates me.
Consistency. As I think all of us, if we have our consistent things, then that's awesome.
Especially if that's your foundation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I love it. What are you excited most, like looking forward to next in the next 12 months? I know it was this trip, but visiting Nicklin Suede.
Yes, and I'm putting it on the calendar again. But I would say probably my kids are growing up a little bit more. So my daughter's about to be in 10th grade. So she's going to she'll be in basketball and she'll have a bigger role in the team. So as a proud mom, I want to see her excel more and be more, scoring more points, I guess you could say, just be more involved in the team. And I know this is going to be a big year for her coming up, and my son is going into 4th grade. So, 4th grade is a little bit more learning and the multiplications and division, just seeing them excel in that as a mom I'm just really looking forward to that, to see that.
That's going to be great.
I'm very excited for them.
Love it. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Wow. I've mentioned it before. I would say you don't have to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
You really don't. Because if that's not you, don't do it.
Yeah.
You'll waste time doing it.
I love it.
A lot of time. Yeah.
All right. Where can people find you? How can they follow along, or where could they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Skins Pepsi. The Skin stands for Redskin. I'm a huge Washington Redskins fan.
She's got to slide that in.
I got to put that in there. Washington Redskins fan. Hail to the Redskins. HTTR. Anything else? Let me think. And then I love Pepsi. So that's something that's one of my things. I always drink Pepsi. I always have one around me somewhere. So Skins Pepsi is on Instagram. And then on Facebook, just Shawnita Marshall. I have my own Facebook Nicklin Suede page. So I keep that going. And if you want to know more, you want to know what's coming, what's going, I won't give you any hints. I won't give you any new stuff that's secret, but I will tell you to look out. And I try to just, show pictures of just, hey, here's how a Black person is wearing this color. Hey, this is how you can, wear it with a hoodie. Nicklin Suede and Nike go well together.
She does pair Nike and Nicklin Suede
always,
all the time.
Yes,
they got the colors that coordinate.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. And then she's a great moderator and voice in the BFF group too.
Yes.
On Nicklin Suede. So
it's
cool.
Fun.
Well, thanks for being on today.
Oh,
it was so great to hear your perspective on all these things and your stories. And yeah.
Wow. So. I can't stop smiling, so I got to figure out how to pull my cheeks down. I'm they won't go down.
Smiling is a good thing. We love
Very
it.
true.
And we're so glad to have you.
Thank you. This was a pleasure.
Thanks for being such a great customer and a great support. And just glad to have you. So
can't wait to come back.
Okay. Until next time. Thanks. We'll see you online. Okay. Thanks, Shawnita.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening today to With Kylie Nichols. I hope that today you felt empowered to take one more step towards living the best version of you. Tune in next week for another episode, and in the meantime, you can find us elsewhere on the internet. You can find me on Instagram at Kylie Nichols and at Nicklin Suede. You can also find us at nicklinsuede.com. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.